flex, flex, your hustle. Flex, 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 your hustle. Flex, 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 your hustle. Flex, flex, your hustle. Hey, flex, 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 your hustle. Hey, flex, 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 your hustle. Hey, flex, 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 your hustle. Hey, flex, flex, hey, flex, your hustle.
Welcome back to the Flex Your Hustle podcast, and we're here for episode 13. And this time we have Zulu Boy on the podcast, and it's really nice to have him. He's the founder of Gweri Vintage and also one quarter of the group Ama Daz Floor.
Yes.
Yes. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, my brother. How are you? It's a bit hot in the north, but this is home, so yeah.
It's nice to see that you're back home.
Yes.
And you're enjoying it so far?
Of course, when I always come to the north, it's always a privilege to come back to your roots, because we live in a city, and it's always nice to come back home and just reflect, come back home and
refresh,
relax a bit, refresh. When you are back in the city, energy levels are up again.
Yeah. No, that's actually great.
Yes.
He's coming on the back end of performing with his homies at IG Pub, his fellow Ama Daz Floor members.
Yes.
Last night, how was that performance?
Beautiful, man. Actually, the owners of IG, she's like my sister, so I grew up with her. It was just coming back home and supporting my sister and just making sure that we are back in the music industry, because we've been quiet for 3 years now. Also, COVID affected us, so it's good that we are back on the performing and releasing new music again and back to the industry again as before. Yeah.
No, welcome back to the industry.
Yes.
So now you're here in the north,
Yeah.
and you've spoken a bit about your music.
Yes.
And we've mentioned that you are the founder of Gweri Vintage.
Yes.
But just to start off, how did you end up getting into music in the first place?
I think music was a passion since high school. That's where the group came in intact. We schooled together with my 3 guys. We are 4. We grew up together, so it was more a thing of back in the school. We used to perform, we used to dance. It was more a thing of how can we proceed and become better and inspire other kids around us. Then we started doing music. We started recording. It was quite rough because people didn't understand what we were trying to do. But we had a vision, we had a dream, and it came true.
How old were you guys when you started recording?
We were young, 16, 15, 16.
Yeah. And you guys had access to studios that day?
Yes, we had access. Actually, we are so fortunate and lucky because the guys that are from the group are personal and part of their family members have been doing music. For example, one guy is related to Pedrito, the late Pedrito is related to Camtonio of PDK, their cousin. So it was more a thing of he was coming from a musical background. For us, he was exposed to that already. For us, it was new for us. So he just said, okay guys, there's the thing called the studio. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. How do we go to this thing? We started recording, and then you become used to going to the studio. Yeah.
No, that's actually nice to hear.
Yes.
And this time, were you based here in the north or in?
Yeah, we are based in the north. I did my high school here at Tukule Senior Secondary School in Onyanya. That's where we all met, and that's where the journey started, and it kept on going until today.
And were you guys performing at the school?
Yes, definitely. We started as dancers, then we decided, everyone is just dancing. How can we do something different? From the rest of everyone. And then that's how we started with music. We started recording, as I said. After recording, we're like, I think there's a bigger opportunity and there's a bigger market, and the people love what we are creating. And we started becoming better every day. And at the end of the day, we have 5 albums now, won the Namas. It has been a beautiful journey, man.
And how was that journey towards the Namas? What did you win a Nama for?
Best Sukus Kwasa,
okay.
2016. At the Namas, yeah.
At the Namas.
Yes.
And how was that experience for you? What album were they basing off that prize?
It was an album, Trafika, It means we arrived from Moshwambo. It means we have arrived. It was our 4th album, I think. But I think the people just saw the creativity, what we are trying to do, and what we are being different because of our attire. The way we used to wear till today, we more of a vintage, and that's the whole how also Gweri Vintage came in place because of the attire, and that's where Gweri Vintage was also born through that time. Because being in a group, my focus area was also how do we present ourselves to the public, how are we different, and then we always wore, even in our music videos, it's more back in the days, and that's how also Gweri Vintage was part and parcel of that journey. So through my music area, something also was being born on a personal note, because as a stylist, the group, I wanted just to have a vision. Guys, if we are going to present ourselves, we are going to the Namas, we are going wherever, we need to look this certain way. Everybody agreed, let's push it that way.
And how important is it, like, for artists to be careful of how they look when it comes to their fashion sense?
Looking in a certain way in the public, or how people sees you, is very important, because at the end of the day, that's how people recognize you. People always ask me, do I come and wear normal clothes? Because a lot of times people see me wearing weird clothes. I'm like, guys, yes, that's me being normal. So, but then they recognize me through that. Because if I wear normal hoodie, normal just t-shirt, you pass by, and then you're like, who's this guy? I think
you won't know it's Zulu Boy.
You won't know it's me. So I think that helps me stand out, and also it's more about appreciating myself. That's why I wear that, or that's why we dress like that. It's more of loving ourselves, and we wanted to be unique. We wanted to be represented in a different way. So it allows you in many. It also gives you opportunities, people to want to speak to you and find out why are you dressed that way. It becomes a topic of interest. You know, it's an interesting topic. So at the end of the day, apart from just doing the music or apart from just creating, it creates another story or engagement. People want to talk about it. So at the end of the day, it makes more news on the other side. Yeah.
No, that's very valid. And you know, I like that you're saying that music and fashion came to meet together.
Yes.
And it's funny that you talk about that, considering that MTC Fashion Week is just coming up.
Yes.
Are you going to attend?
Yes, Louis Munana is my close friend. He's my close brother. I was also there in Windhoek Fashion Week when Windhoek Fashion Week was, upcoming, and I also had a few pieces there. It's definitely always attend, and most of the brands that are always there at the fashion is brands that I'm closer with, brands that I work with. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win for the culture and for the people in the industry. So definitely I'll always.
And how important is fashion to the Namibian community, especially looking at how the MTC Fashion Week has gained much traction, and a lot of people like Zuriel, the Louis Munana, they have a lot of influence in this department. So how important is it to the Namibian?
I think I'm happy we're at a position where we are getting to understand things, because back in the days, even when we started, for instance, even when I was showcasing, people really didn't have so much interest. But as you look at the numbers now are picking up and people are showing interest, I think they are starting to appreciate more these kind of things, because it was new to us. I think growing up, a lot of things like going to a fashion show, it was weird, man. But now you can see the world is changing, things are moving differently. That's how we have all these opportunities. I mean, back in the days we didn't have podcasts, right? So now you see we had radio and all that. So now the world is changing. So you can see that there is more understanding now, and the people are wanting to see these opportunities. And at the end of the day, people also make money through these opportunities. I mean, fashion designers, makeup artists, photographers, people that are selling the drinks and the food. So at the end of the day, it's just not about a fashion show. It's also about how are we making money back, whoever is involved.
And I feel like there's a lot of pieces involved. We've seen like car companies get involved.
Definitely.
A lot of media companies get involved. So I get there's a lot of players that come into play. to make Fashion Week what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's actually a beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
So will you be there as a model or just visiting?
I don't know, man. I'm waiting. Fingers are crossed. I'm working on my piece. I've been working on my piece, my collection for close to like 3 years now. The reason why we are taking a bit of time is because we want to get the right stuff, and also once we launch, we want to make sure it's gonna have consistency, because a lot of times, and what I've seen and what I've researched, when you come up with a brand, you need to do a lot of research. You need to make sure the stuff are available, because at the end of the day, sometimes we make stuff, we open up stuff or do stuff, but it ends up you are not continuing because probably the materials are out, or probably the patterns are not working, or so why I'm taking so much time is because I want to understand, and also I want to do something that is elegant, something that you would want to wear whether you are in Europe or wherever you're in Africa, but so yeah, that's the
I guess you're basically saying that you want to give us something that us Namibians we are proud to
yeah,
wear.
definitely.
And how important is it for Namibians to be proud of the fashion heritage that comes from the Namibian culture?
I think when you look at close to how our traditional groups are, I think that the love and the appreciation starts back in the days. When you look at when we are presenting ourselves, whether it's the Odelela, whether it's the Nama stuff, even right now I have the Nama page. I think it comes way back. So it has been in us. It's just that we didn't talk about it. How the Ovahimba look. Right now you can see photographers from across the world are coming to Namibia to shoot an Ovahimba lady, Ovahimba man. I think the interest is there. It has been there. It's just that we don't know about it, or I don't know. I don't want to say we ignore it, but it's just that it has been there. It's just that we don't acknowledge. Yeah, that's the right word. We don't acknowledge it. It's more like we have the best natural resources. We have the best. We have the popper falls. We have all this beautiful stuff. We have the cheetah. We have the white rhino. It's with us, but I don't think we really don't appreciate it so much as what other people do it when they come from outside.
So I guess now it's a matter of just you see, like you said, the photographers are now coming here.
Yeah.
I think the awareness is slowly increasing.
Yes.
And we just have to give it a bit of time. But
Yes.
it is valid that we do need to appreciate
And
the
acknowledge.
beautiful things and acknowledge the beautiful things in Namibia.
Yes.
Aside from what we already know. And mostly, when you look from the outside world, Namibia is mostly known for the rugby.
Yes.
It's mostly known for
The diamonds.
diamonds, you know.
Yes.
But there's many other aspects to it. And a question I wanted to ask you is that you said Gweri Vintage came from you being a stylist for Ama Daz Floor.
Yes.
Your guys' group.
Yes.
And how did it feel to be the stylist of a group that won an award at the Namas? Like, how did it feel that day when you were at the Namas?
It's a privilege. It's goosebumps every day when we talk about this moment, because we actually, when we came to the venue, my guys, the spirits were a bit low, man. We're taking this one. We are scared, And I'm just telling the guys, come on, man, we got this. We deserve this, and we are supposed to be here. Then after a few minutes, we announced the bomb. We go on stage. So I think it was one of the biggest moments that I've realized in life, and also celebrated, because, as I said, growing up, challenges were there, whether it's family, friends, the community, because people didn't understand. And then those boys from the north, they hit the big stage. They are around they are around the biggest artists in the country. It's beautiful, man. And then you see your work, even when I look at the pictures, how we dressed ourselves, also through looks at the Vintage Guru. He has also been part of our journey. I mean, you look at yourself and say, man, I think we have done a lot. And I mean, it's time we really say, yes, we have really done it a lot. And also me being part of the group I think I've learned a lot, getting to understand the culture, getting to understand how to present yourself, as I said. So, I mean, it's a proud moment for me.
Yeah. And you mentioned that it's right now is the time for you guys to understand that you have done a lot for the Namibian culture.
Yeah.
How important is it for an artist to look back at the work that they have done?
I think it gives you more energy. It gives you more energy to keep on pushing. As you said, before anything that I do before leaving the house, I need to acknowledge myself. I need to tell myself I'm the best. I need to motivate myself that, man, I got this. No matter what happens, I got this. So doing that, it allows you, even when you do the music, you look back, it allows you to refreshen up, because you are young, you are big, you are a baby. So now you are entering as an adult. So it teaches you a lot, the mistakes that you have done. So, and you know, the industry is not easy. People look at it, oh my God, you guys are just doing music videos, or you're famous. It's not like that. It's not easy. The work behind the doors is mostly the roughest, because there's so many that is involved. Even when you go perform, so much that is involved. And as an artist, you go through this every day. The dramas, the challenges, emotional, breakdowns. It's a lot. We take in as an artist, but you need to carry yourself and show the people, because they believe in you. You can't slack. You need to move. You need to be. You have the powers.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So I guess there's something that you mentioned, and you said a lot of the challenges, drama, family and friends, and so forth. But what is one challenge that you guys specifically faced and you can vividly remember?
I think the challenges we were very good with is consistency, because a lot of times when you're in this industry or whatever you do, you need to keep up consistently. You need to keep up since day one. You need to be on top of your game. We can never go and say, I think we are trying. We are not trying. We go on the table and say we are the best. We want to do this. The challenges, as I said, there are quite a lot, man. As also being in a group, there are individuals. We are individuals on our own also, where sometimes you need to take out yourself from being an individual and then form up being in a group. And you need to understand everyone. How are they reasoning? What are they thinking? So these three guys are saying they want to do A, B, and C. So now you ask yourself, am I going to do it, or I'm going to face the other side? So the challenge is everywhere. But at the end of the day, what I really appreciate about being with my guys is the fact that I think we more grew up in the same environment, more like the home setups where we come from. It's more like the same. It's more like we are blood brothers. So, and we had to understand each other. And I'm glad that I also have bigger guys in the group who are bigger than me, who had challenges before. Then
it can also learn from each other.
Yeah, we learn from each other.
Yeah,
and understanding each other. So I think that really helped us a lot. And being yourself, I think we allowed ourselves to be ourselves, because we didn't judge ourselves. Whatever you want to do, do it. No one will say do it. You are not forced. If you don't feel like going to perform, you tell us you're not going to perform, then that's it. You are not forced. So I think through those times that you get to understand each other, okay, these guys really are there for me, and they are my brothers for life. So why will I, hold this notion of I don't think I can trust these guys and stuff. Yeah.
No, because a lot of groups, they become their groups. They start off very well, they work together for many years, and then all of a sudden you just hear the group is broken up. But it's nice to hear that you and your other group members, like you feel like blood brothers.
Yes.
And sometimes family fights.
Of course, and I think also what brings in a lot of fights in groups is financial problems and money. That's what I'm saying. We have not been doing music for 3 years now, but everyone has been doing grinding on their self. So we also allow those elements. Kucha, you are an element on yourself, so go grind. If I have clients that are not part of the music, I'm allowed to go do whatever, so that at least I'm keeping sure I'm making myself that I'm available for the performance and I have something in my pocket. So I think a lot of groups break apart is because of financial disputes. Yeah.
Because something that you mentioned that's valuable is that you need to grind even though you're just doing the music.
Yes,
how
of course.
important is that? Because there's a lot of people that want to make it in the music industry, but they want to start with the music and finish with the music. Is it that all that the person is supposed to do, or do they need to go and grind on something else?
It's two ways. There's two ways involved in this. When I look at my brothers, like for example, King TD, it's my big brother. The likes of Gaza, they are also my brother, my big brothers. They've been doing music, not really doing other stuff, and only now they started, having brands and businesses and building. But for us, as I said, we are so fortunate. Like most of the guys in my group, we are well educated. We went to universities. We finished our school. Apart from that, doing music, we are still working from other stuff. So through that, it helped us a lot. Through that, we didn't only depend on music. At the end of the day, because if we could only depend on music, and that's the sad part about our industry. Unfortunately, we live in an industry that is like that, that a lot of people don't really believe in creatives. They don't pay creatives so well. I mean, sometimes you can go to a show, then the owner tells you, I'll just pay you next week. Boss, I just performed now. And then, so which means when you wait for next week, you need to make other plans.
Exactly.
To come in. So I think at the end of the day, it's just about understanding the industry. Can this work? Can this not work? It's not wrong to have a job while you're a musician. It's not wrong. You can be a full-time musician, doesn't matter, but at least you need side hustles just to assist you, because unfortunately we live in an industry where it's like that and people don't appreciate us so much as we should be. For example, the other artists from, let's say, from South Africa, and also our population, the streams, we don't really make money through streams. We only make money through performance. But also you need to understand, in a year, as much as you can't have a million shows in a year to make that money. In between there, you need to rest. In between there, you need to, to chill a bit, because at the end of the day, also your body is overworking.
You're a human, yeah.
You are a human. So at the end of the day, when you are relaxed now, you are not making money. So that's the challenge now. Now, what are you doing when you are relaxed? You make other stuff where you can also make money.
That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
And looking at the Namibian industry, do you feel like there's certain aspects that need to be changed currently for the artists to prosper?
Man, the challenge has been there since before us. Let's say what can probably assist with the industry is how people organize shows. Maybe the recognition of the artist, and also sponsors to look at how to better pay the people. I think that can probably change. But apart from that, I don't want to say who has done this and who has done that. I think the structures are well in position. We have bodies that protects artists here and there. I'm not saying they're not doing their job. It's just that probably we just need to reinforce a few things and make things work, because at the end of the day, you hear artists saying they are not paid, but their music is played on music, they're not well paid, or stuff like that. And maybe also just radio presenters to play more of our music, our local content.
Because you get like now, a lot of Namibian platforms. I get the Amapiano wave is coming in. I get the wave is amazing. There's a lot of nice music happening right now. But do you feel like they are prioritizing South Africa more than the Namibian market?
I think that's what I'm saying. The challenge is that we need to start appreciating ourselves more than the outsiders. That has been the challenge for many artists. And I think it's time now. As much as we appreciate other people from others, we need to start appreciating ourselves first. As you said, even that has been happening right now. But I mean, there is better music that are better than that, but we don't appreciate them more. So I think it's high time we need to start appreciating ourselves more.
Exactly. That's very true.
Yeah.
Do you think that appreciation starts with the artist himself or with the fans?
With the artist himself. That's what I'm saying. Before I go out of this house, before I go out of the house, I need to appreciate myself first. So that's the only way people can start appreciating me. Because if I don't appreciate, it's more like you don't believe in yourself. You think people will believe in you. And I think that's what keeps me going. Because for me, I tell myself, man, today, how am I going to survive? I only have $20 in my pocket. But I tell myself I'm going to do it. Then, after 2 minutes, a client calls, Zulu, where are you? We need you this. Oh, no, we have a budget of this. We are like, yes. So I think it's more of speaking to the universe. They say, I don't know, is it speaking to the universe, something like that? Manifesting. It works. It definitely works. I don't know how it works, but it works. Why I'm saying it works is because I've manifested in so many things. Whether it's our music, whether it's the Gweri Vintage. I was always like, wow, one day I want to be A, B, and C. And here we are. A, B, and C is working.
It's working.
It manifests because I think it gives you also more hope. I think that's how life works. If I tell myself, today I'm gonna get a job, or today I'm gonna get an opportunity, trust me, after 2 days or 3 days, it works. Yeah. So I think it's more of artists believing in themselves more. That's how people will start believing in themselves. People always ask me, do you ever break down? I'm like, of course I do break down, but my positivity is more higher than breaking down. Whether I go through problems, I tell myself, Zulu, problems are here. Let's go through these problems. It will only last for 2 hours. We push again. We are back. And that's how I've been believing, and that's how I've lived for my past 29, 30 years. Yeah.
And that's actually very valid. You know, there's a quote that I saw on Instagram from Steve Harvey, and it's like, if you're going through hell, why stop in hell? Go through it and pass it and move on. You know, you always pass it.
Work.
So it's nice to hear that coming from you. But how do you, now that you self-motivate yourself, how do you manage to navigate the times where you are very low? And something that the reason I'm asking this is because mental health is really a topic right now.
Yes.
Right now you have a rate of suicide that's going up. You got men killing themselves over issues with their partners, stuff like that. What aspect do you think is really important in maintaining their mental health?
I think it's just speaking out and allowing yourself to go through that. A lot of times you feel things are not going well, and everyone is going through that. Even me, I go through that. That's why people always ask, "Hey, my guy, you're always happy. You are suspecting something, man. You can't be happy for the whole year." I'm like, I'm happy. But I mean, speaking to whoever you need to speak to, whether it's your partner, and also understanding. I think for me, when growing up, I always understand situations. I can't just be angry at you because I want to be angry at you. I want to understand, why are you doing something like that, and why do I need to be angry at you?
Why are you triggered by it?
Why are you behaving a certain way? Did I say something wrong? If I've said something wrong, I'm sorry. And also one thing, people don't want to accept that they are sorry. We all do mistakes. We are not perfect. I mean, we are not God. If I do something wrong, first thing that I always say is, I'm sorry. And I ask myself, how can I become better and better and better? Obviously, the rates have gone up right now, but I'm just saying, when people do that, hang themselves, whatever, they kill themselves, they go through hard times, and it's an ongoing process. It's just not a thing of today, I'm going to hang myself. So it's an ongoing problem that they face, and probably sometimes it's lack of love. They are not loved at home. Probably sometimes they feel they are working so hard and they're not appreciated, which a lot of creatives go through that. That's why I always tell people, give the people their flowers while they are there. You can't have someone who's talented and you are not appreciating the person. Like, especially as creative, we just love to be appreciated. We just love to be loved. You don't need to do a lot of things. Just love us.
Just love us.
Just love us. You see the person glowing every day, he's shining every day. So I think it's just more of appreciating people, one another, and just to say, you find a person in the street and you greet them, hi, how are you? Are you well? And we live in a weird community, a weird country where you just greet someone. You said, hi, how are you? They feel, why are you greeting me? It's a problem. But sometimes it's just a matter of saying, hi, how are you? Are you okay? Are you good?
Just
are you
checking up
hungry?
on one another, yeah.
Are you checking up on you? Can I buy you a drink? Yeah, people think, you're buying me a drink. This guy wants me. But it's not always like that.
Yeah.
It's just acknowledging someone like, oh, it seems like you are not okay. Can I buy you a drink to make you feel better? You're good. Thank you. Bye. You know. But I think we just need to do that. We just need to show love to another. Even as a parent, because that's what I'm saying. Growing up in our community, wherever we grew up, people didn't understand what we were doing. And trust me, if we said, we are not doing this anymore, we could be depressed for the rest of our lives. But we decided, people don't understand. But also when I become a parent, when I become a father or a mother, I need to change the conception. I need to change the idea and be different to my kids or the community I'm in and show them more love.
And it's important, I feel like parents do play a big role
Very.
when it comes to the child's mental health,
Very.
especially when they become an adult. But something that I like that you mentioned is that we just have to push through.
Yeah.
And it's not something that happens instantly. Someone doesn't just wake up and say, you know what, I want to kill myself today.
Yes.
It's a thing that happens gradually.
Yes.
But I feel the reason it happens gradually is because you bottle up feelings from like different experiences.
Definitely.
And you're not talking about it most.
Yes.
It's just building up inside you. And you explode. You know, it's kind of like putting pressure in a container.
Yes,
Eventually it's going to burst.
Yeah.
But now looking at a situation where a lot of men in this economic time in recession that we're going through, they are killing themselves.
Yes.
And do you feel there's any advice you can give directly to men, in Namibia concerning this?
As I said, women don't speak up. We don't really speak up. We go chill. What's it I known as? We hide a lot of things. I think when growing up, we are not taught to open up. And I see this in a lot of men. We are not brought to open up and be free and express yourself. And when you express yourself, people think, you are too much. You're exposing yourself. But I think it's just being open up and finding people to talk to. I will always recommend, you don't need to go pay someone to always go talk to. It can be your friend. It can be someone that you're not close to. It can be someone that you can always talk to. I think that's the best medicine we can start from there. Then after getting that medicine, you need to start developing to understand things differently. Why is this happening? As I said, you can't just come. I just can't come here with a gun and go to the mall, shoot everyone too good. Am I not okay in the head? But you need to understand, why am I shooting the people? So I think we need to understand, and sometimes we need to detach ourselves from feelings. A scenario of why I'm saying we need to detach ourselves from feelings is sometimes you are helping someone, but it doesn't mean if you are helping someone, they need to return the favor from them. You need to understand those two dynamics.
So it's basically giving without expecting to receive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes, most of the time, when you hear stories of men killing themselves or killing their partners, is either they were doing a favor for that person, or they're giving and they feel they're not appreciated. And number two, you don't own anyone. Doesn't mean if I'm giving you money, I own you. You don't own that person. You didn't even give birth to that person, but you want to own them. So I think it's that mindset we have, which I know, since it's my girlfriend, okay, I'm giving her allowance, I'm giving her money, I own her. You don't own her. You don't own anyone. You only own, you don't own anyone. Even if it's your daughter, you don't own them. So,
but concerning that, just sorry to cut you off, I feel like the reason people end up feeling like they own someone is because they are not trying to love the person
Yes.
with love.
Yes.
What they're trying to do is buy the person.
Exactly.
But then now,
Yeah.
it's a thing where like
Exactly.
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You look at the person that's giving the money
Yeah.
and trying to buy the person into
Yeah.
a relationship.
Yes.
And then you also look at the person who's receiving it and
Yeah.
being bought.
Yes.
Then later at the end of the day, when something happens, it's like, yeah, but you were eating his money most.
Yeah. Exactly.
But him also was giving you money. So
Yeah.
like both of you, it becomes
Yeah.
more of a transactional
Yes.
relationship
Yes.
than an actual emotional
Yeah.
relationship.
That's what I'm saying. You need to talk about things like that. Guys, we are adults. I don't understand. You are a 30-year-old man, but you don't talk about stuff that is happening, that is on the ground. So you need to talk to someone, babe, listen here. Now, I'm broke. And it's fine to be broke because a lot of people don't understand the concept of being broke. It's fine to be broke because that's how life it is. You can't flourish for the rest of your life. You know, when COVID right now hit, you know how many big companies that have retrenched people? Companies that you never thought, my God, these guys are going to retrench people. When they retrench people, what are they? They become broke. Do you understand that concept? Now, this guy is telling me, I can't tell my girlfriend, I can't tell someone that I'm broke. Why? We need to understand and acknowledge. And people should understand, they should love you for who you are. Whether you are broke or rich or whoever you are, you have money or not, be loved for that. And that's what I always tell people. When I meet people, my personality is about how I feel. It's not what I have. You understand? And most of the people, when we go out there in the world, you want to show the people, which I have the money. I'm spending tonight, bottles on me. We don't love you for that. It's all fake. We don't love you for that. Because after the bottles, you have bought the bottles, you go home, you go stress alone. We are going back to our houses. We won't even call you. Do you have electricity at home? We won't call you.
Do you have bread in the fridge?
You have bread in the fridge.
Yeah.
You see? But if you could, I'm not saying don't flourish or don't have bottles. I'm not saying that concept, but I'm just saying do things that you appreciate yourself to love. Don't do things to show off, because at the end of the day, it doesn't last for long. But if you love yourself more and do the right stuff that you appreciate, trust me, people will love you for that. And that's how people will always look when they are around you. They'll always look at that. Because now if, let's say, you're always popping bottles, next thing, the money's done, you go back and then come out, you are depressed. I'm like, boss, you're just doing the things the wrong way.
And I feel like what's happening now more so because of social media, you get people that are living a fake lifestyle.
Yeah.
Not all things look peachy like that on like how we see on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, and yesterday I was fortunate enough to sit like behind the scenes of an interview, and they asked the question like, what do you think about the industry? Talking about the music industry.
Yeah.
And the artist said, it's not what it seems. It's never what it seems.
Yeah.
And the reality is, all these artists, all these famous people, at the end of the day, they all go back home.
Of course.
Just like you.
Yes.
And they all go back and suffer the same things that you suffer.
Yes.
You know, it's just that some people are very good at hiding what they suffer.
Yes.
And some people are very good at making it seem like life is easy.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's not.
Yeah.
And how do you feel you remain true to yourself?
I think it's how I allow myself. As I say, number one, I'll always go back to that. I need to appreciate myself. Appreciating myself is looking at what do I need and what don't I need. Zulu, do you need a Mercedes Benz now? No, I don't need it. Why? Because it doesn't do justice to me. Why can I not buy a Donkey Botswana? Number one, full consumption. Number two, it can accommodate. I can give it to my brother Tommy. It can get bumped. We can fix it quickly. It's okay. Life goes on. So you need to take things that you are able to carry. Because sometimes we try to do things that are not ours, or sometimes we try to do things to impress people, and then when things go wrong, everything shuts down.
And I feel like when things go wrong, sometimes if you're doing things to impress people, you end up hating those people. Because what happens like with social pressure is that I have something nice, and then you feel the need to get that same thing or better. But then when your life messes up in you trying to achieve that, not knowing that I got that thing as a gift from someone, or it's just an opportunity that came to me, an opportunity that you could get as well if you just followed certain things my way or did things differently. You know,
just be yourself, man.
Just be yourself. And then what happens is that when life goes wrong, a person will look back and be like, no, they end up hating the person or the person that they were trying to be like or compete with. But now, like you said, you remain true to yourself.
True to yourself. The people that you have started with, be with them. Most of the time, we try to change circles. Now this guy, I don't like him anymore because just be with your circle, man. It's not gonna change that much. That's what I'm saying. I think what also has helped me in my career is the fact that the people that I go through the toughest days are always around. And when we celebrate a great victory. The people that are around my life are the people that I've grown up with, are family, are people that I know that today if I ask them $20, they're not gonna tell the Instagram people that Zulu's asking for $20.
For $20.
You see?
Yeah.
Now and then you get these guys, these friends, new friends, when you ask them for $20, they want to tell the whole world that
I gave so and so.
I give the guys, bro. So you need to understand, and also we need to listen. We have a problem. We don't like to listen. You see, when you meet new people, you need to listen. There are things that they say might trigger that this person is legit or fake. And that's how every day when I'm around people, I listen more. You need to listen more rather you speaking. Because when you listen more, you understand who are these people, what are they saying. If there's already triggering words, you move, you keep yourself away.
You just keep yourself away. And I feel like, you know, what happens also is like, have you not realized that in social media now, everyone wants to give so much advice about how to navigate life, how to deal with friends and all of that stuff.
Yes.
But then you get people who are like, social media is so bad. Then get off social media.
Then get off social media. Why are you there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your relationship is bad.
Yes.
Leave the person, bro.
Leave the toxic relationship.
Exactly.
And it's just easy just to say, I'm sorry, I don't think this is gonna work with us. Even a text, SMS, sharp, bye, block, you move on. Now you are there fighting the person the whole day. No. That's what I'm saying. I think it's just things that we need to start understanding. And you need to understand your environment. You can't be the same. And as I'm saying, you are aging. You become different. You are not a kid. You become a baby, toddler. You become an adult. But through that, you start also understanding situations. You know when you're in an environment where you are not safe. You can read, you can feel, yes, this location, I'm not feeling it. But that's how life also is about. You're around people that you know for a fact that no one is able to assist you. Why are you around these people? Move away. Move away. There are better opportunities in life. That's what I'm saying. People always say, maybe, you know, you go through, even when you are working, you are getting a gig, then you lose out some. Then someone says, so you are losing out, don't you feel good? I'm like, there are more opportunities. When I lose, I gain more. That's how I believe in. So when I lose this gig, I'll get more 2 or 3 gigs. It's more of ideas. When I'm around people, they say, Zulu, you are sharing ideas. I'm like, the ideas that I'm sharing, I can make it more better than what I'm saying right now.
It's because you have the recipe.
Because of the recipe.
You
can never steal it.
You can never steal the sauce, bro.
When starting with the Gweri socks, people are like, you're not scared of people to copy socks ideas. I'm like, bring them on. That's bring challenge. That brings me challenge to do something and become interesting. Because now, if I don't have a competitor,
you're just doing it alone. It's not fun.
It doesn't trigger me. So it's always nice to bring in the new spice. I'm like, okay, so these guys are doing the. And looking at the stats, when we started, there's a brand, an international brand called Happy Socks. Happy Socks they are very colorful. So Happy Socks also gave us a bit of inspiration of how to do our stuff. When we entered the market, our sales were one of the top selling products, and Happy Socks, when we did our research, it was not currently doing well. I'm not shading, I'm just trying to motivate people.
The market analysis, yeah.
You can do it if you find a product that is on the shelf. You can become better and beat it. That's how life is about. Sometimes you find a person saying, this guy is trying to copy. He's not trying to copy you. Move on. Become better. Become more greater. We have Nike, we have Adidas. Why are they not fighting, going to court every day? Why is Nike not taking Adidas to court and say, those guys are also doing techies, I'm also doing techies. Yeah.
I feel like it's we should appreciate that we can all coexist in the same industry. Not only compete but also collaborate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Collaborate, and everyone is different. I don't believe in what is this word? There's a word that I say. I don't believe in competition. I don't know. Yeah, I don't believe in competition. There is no one who's better than me. No one. You can come 10 times. No one is better than me. And that's on the ground that I stand. No one is better than you on this podcast. No one. I can never have the same podcast as you are having. It's not the same. Even if I start up with a podcast, I can never have it exactly the same. And that's what people need to start understanding. We are not in the same leagues. Everyone is. Mercedes-Benz has his own league. BMW has his own league. Jaguar. Dangi Botswana. Everyone is only. Remember that video of someone's wedding where they were all packed these expensive cars. Then someone comes there with a Dangi Botswana. I'm like, yeah. That's how life is about.
He's also pulling up his
exactly. When you pull up your whip, I pull up my whip. We are all going the same direction, and that's how life is about. That's how life is about, unfortunately. As much as we are all pushing, as much as we are doing all these kind of things, life is about like that. As long as we are going to the same direction, then it's fine.
That's actually very good to hear. I wanted to ask, like, concerning your Gweri Vintage.
Yes.
You started that in what year?
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
And how has it gone so far? What is the highlights that you can mention?
That's what I'm saying. It's a fortunate, and I don't know if I should say I'm proud of myself, but also the recognition that I got from the industry and people. This brand was born in 2018 from the streets. Today it's one of the most recognized brand in Namibia. The collaborations that we have done, it's major and huge for a small brand. I mean, we are not even 10 years in this business, but the acknowledgement that we have received is amazing. But also I think that what helped us is being true to ourselves and understanding of what we want and the quality we want to bring in and the consistency. As I said, a lot of times we lack in consistency. You come up with a brand, as I said, you come up with a brand, but you are not consistent. Yeah. So being true to yourself is the most important. People must love you for who you are. They must not fake it. They must just love you for who you are because you are true to yourself. So with the major collaborations, we have quite done a lot with the Jacket Master, Standard Bank. We are building houses also through selling our merch now. So at the end of the day, we also want to change life. It's just not about doing socks, but it's about how do we make a difference in our communities, because that's what I fight for. I want to make sure tomorrow Timo, a small boy called Timo, or a girl in Diapo, whoever, comes to me and says, Zulu, I grew up not having a best life, but through your brand or whatever you have created, I'm where I am today. It's because of you. And that's the message that I always carry in my brand. Everybody can do socks, but what is the message in the socks? I remember the first time when the year we launched, I was almost physically beaten by the people because we were angry. Because the time when we were producing, we had limited number. So now we had orders before they land. Now, when I was doing deliveries, Hey, these people get excited. I want more. They order 2, now I want 3. Now the list changes now. So now there are some that don't get, some wants to fight you. But we went through all that, and we are here today, and it's because of the support of our Namibian people. This brand is because of you guys. It's just not something that just popped up, but also the companies that we have worked with has played a big role, and we are still continuing working and collaborate with everyone.
Yeah, no, that's actually very nice to hear. You know, like looking at the success that you have made with your brand and all of that, it seems like you have had a lot of experience.
Yes.
With fashion.
Yes.
With also looking at how the Namibian music industry has played a role in making what is Gweri Vintage.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, like, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to break into that industry?
My brother, you need to keep on breaking those doors. It's not easy. It has never been easy, and it's still not easy. Be true to yourself, man. Opportunities will always come, but don't mess up your opportunities. A lot of people take advantage. Okay, now I got this nice $1 million, or I got this car loan. Warakata, let me use it for other things. Don't use it for other things. Just use it for the right things. Time will come later where you will flourish and enjoy other things. But just be true to yourself. Keep on working. I'm always working. People always ask, do you rest? I rest. I'm resting, but I
rest. You're human.
Yeah, I'm a human, but I need to keep on working. And I said, hopefully by 35 I retire. I don't want to be running around anymore. You know, I want to invest in companies. I want my brand to take it further across Africa. But I can only do that when I'm traveling. I can only do that when I'm sure that here at home everything is proper. It's time to take it international. So the dream is big, and I'm saying we are still at baby foot. What we have accomplished within our 5 years or how many years being in the industry, it's quite crazy for a small brand. Which means the potential is there. We just need support. We need support from private entities, government. I mean, this is our brand. This is our local brand. We need to take it abroad. You can tell me there are Namibians right now that are at positions, whether in the world or wherever, opportunities to attract investors, to have opportunities for us to showcase wherever, whether it's a Milan Fashion Week, wherever. These are the people that need to support us. Plug us. At the end of the day, it's for who? It's for the Namibian child. When I'm no more there, who's going to take care of that company? The next Namibian child.
The next generation.
It has to continue. And that's the only way we can make this work. Because now we have these things. Zulu's just busy with these things. No! Your son might come work for me one day. And we don't think about that. We think just right now in this moment, that guy's just selling socks. Yes, I'm selling socks. But you know that your son is going to be my CEO after 2 years or after 10 years? We don't think about things like this. That's what I'm saying. Support, whether you know the product or you don't know, because you don't know how it's indirectly benefiting you.
And how it's definitely going to shape the next generation.
Exactly. Because this is not for me, it's for the Namibian child. When I grow up, when I retire, once become old, who's going to take care of the businesses? My nieces, my sons, my daughters, whoever, my community, whoever's son. But I'm creating an opportunity for the future. This podcast, one day, someone is gonna run over it. Someone is it's gonna be bigger and better. Yeah. Exactly. Who are you doing it for? It's not for you. You are planting a seed. And I always tell people, as young people, plant a seed for tomorrow. Don't plant seed for you. It's not for you. These benefits, you are sacrificing yourself now. You are supposed to go sleepy. You are supposed to go chill. Other young people are chilling now.
Yeah.
Where are you? Having a podcast with me, trying to have a conversation to build. So you are not doing it for you. You are doing it for some, but you don't see it. It's because you are planting, and that's what we all need to do. We need to continue planting. We need to plant a seed so that one day when you're no more here, someone has to take over, and it has to continue. The job has to,
that's most definitely true. I really appreciate you have a lot of experience, and we can see it in the way that you conversate and what you talk about, especially talking about planting the seed for the next generation.
Definitely.
And we've definitely appreciated having you on the podcast. We're actually coming to an end.
Yes.
But thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your experience behind Gweri Vintage, and also your music experience in your group Ama Daz Floor.
Yes.
So going to end this episode,
and
we just want to thank you so much for coming to Ogwediva so that we could shoot this. And to everyone who's watching, thank you so much for watching the podcast this far. And please follow Zulu Boy Ama Daz Floor on Instagram and Facebook, and us as well. And like and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next episode of the Flex Your Hustle podcast, where we talk with other entrepreneurs who are making moves in Namibia. Thank you so much, and bye.
Thank you so much.
Flex your hustle. Flex your hustle. Flex your hustle. Flex